I'm just not certain. I don't know, Chairman, if you know.
Okay,
So we'll get an update for you.
Thank you.
But I know that some some of the larger ones have been shut down.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. I also wanted to ask you about the community defense initiatives. General McChrystal was involved in that, and I support that. He said that, it would be a good way to get the Afghans involved in their defense, and I think it would provide a lighter footprint for us. But now I understand that Ambassador Eikenberry has blocked some of the funding for that, and so I would like to ask you about that as well. Is that part of our counter-terrorism strategy, or is it not?
I think it still is. I'm not aware that Ambassador Eikenberry had done that, and I can take a look at it and get you a more thorough answer specifically. The whole focus at that level is an important part of the overall approach as well.
I think that my view is that the ultimate solution in Afghanistan is a variety of security elements, local tribesmen, local community defense groups, police, the Army, and so on, and particularly at the provincial and sub-provincial level, re-empowering the tribal elders and so on. The worry that everybody shares and the source of caution is the last thing we want to do is recreate or re-empower warlords. And so if there is a reservation on the ground, it is the worry that in one place or another that the risk of doing that is high.
Well, do you think that the Afghan councils and the communities are strong enough?
I think my guess is that it probably varies very much from locality to locality. And it may be that the way to approach this is on a case-by-case basis in terms of whether the local governance is strong enough to have one of these community defense organizations without running the risk of warlordism.
But you do think it's possible to do that, because we know that the central government's weak, to be kind about it, and we also know that this is part of our whole overall strategy. I mean, how important would you rate that strategy?
I think it's important.
Important enough to...
And I think this needs to be a part of our toolkit. But I also am prepared to acknowledge that it's really up to the ambassador and General McChrystal and their colleagues to decide where this works and where it won't.
I would only add, ma'am, that in the operations that General McChrystal directs, it is very much integrated with the Afghan security forces, the Army, and the police, as well as an infrastructure or the part of hold and build to be able to build beyond that, right down to the local level. So it is being integrated into operations as we speak, and it's also informing the government in Kabul, which certainly has a lot of work to do as well.
Well, there does seem to be a pretty big difference right now between the military and between the ambassador, so I would appreciate it if you could get back to me on that as well. Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back. Mr. Rogers from Alabama.